It is great to be joined by the star of the UAB Blazers, the Conference USA champions, Jordan Jelly Walker. Jordan and the Blazers will be in action against Houston in a 5-12 game in the South region Friday night. And Jordan, it is great to have you with us here on Field of 68 After Dark. First and foremost, why should America, as you hold up that Blazers logo, why should America believe in you and the Blazers?
I mean, I keep saying it. We're just not afraid of anyone. I feel like we played a lot of tough games this year, and I don't think people give Conference USA as much credit as they should. I think there's a lot of great teams in this league and a lot of great players. And yeah, I guess we're considered a mid-major team in a mid-major conference, but this conference is very challenging and it's not easy. And as for, like I said before, we're just not scared of anybody. And like we've lost a couple tough games in the beginning of the year, but we were new, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like our chemistry's grown, you know what I'm saying? We've meshed more together. I definitely understand the offense way more than I did in the beginning of the year, and me and AK even became closer throughout the year. And it's just, I feel like we got a lot of great pieces and we got a lot of veteran guys who know what it takes. And maybe they might have went to the NCAA tournament, especially like including myself, but we know what it takes to win, and we know, and we've been in a bunch of games where we had to grind it out at the end. And that's what you need when it comes to March, you know what I'm saying? And me watching March Madness, I feel like that's what you need in order to win those games. You got to have guys who know how to grind out games, and I feel like that's what we're able to do.
You said AK, that's your head coach, Andy Kennedy. And earlier this season, you put up 42 to break his record in a single game at UAB. What did he say to you after that?
He said, I'm so proud of you, so proud of you. And that's all he really said, because he didn't know I broke. He actually tried to sub me out. But I guess he heard like the fans and everyone cheering for me and yelling jelly, jelly. So I guess he realized like, oh, he's about to beat the record. So I kept me in and then eventually subbed me out the next possession. But he just said he's super proud of me and he loves what I'm doing. And I just got to keep getting better. That's all.
March Madness is a time for terrific stories. And we get to hear about your journey and who you play for.
Yeah.
Jordan, what's your why?
My older brother, he was murdered in 2016 in November, and that still hurts me every day, and it shook my family tremendously, especially my mother, and she's definitely a big, probably another reason like of my why, and it messed her up. It messed her up a lot. And there's days where she's okay, and then there's days where she's really not okay, and that was her firstborn son, and that was our older brother, and he was more like a father figure to us rather than just an older brother, and when we lost him, it messed me up too. I didn't really want to play basketball anymore. I didn't want to do anything, and I don't really talk about it as much because like it's not something I really like to think about, but I'm stuck with it every day. Some days it's easier than others. But that's probably my biggest why is just my family and losing my older brother. And then right after that, losing my grandmother on my dad's side. And right after that, losing my grandma on my mom's side. And literally back to back to back. Those 3 years from being at Seton Hall to Tulane, then Tulane again, those years hurt me. And I was depressed for a long time, And a lot of people didn't know because that's not the type of person I am. I'm always walking around with a smile on my face. And I feel like that even when I was at Seton Hall, when I was in the cast, just always smiling. And I try to be like that light in the room, but people don't really understand the darkness that I have sometimes going on in my life, and I'm not asking nobody to understand, and I'm not asking nobody to have no sympathy for me because I know at the end of the day, I got to keep living and keep pushing forward. But that's my why, like my family and the people who love me, the people who've been there for me, because they've been there through my darkest times. Like they've been there when people doubted me. And like I said, and people didn't think I was good enough, even when I was younger. And they've always been in my ear telling me that you are good enough, that you are better than those kids, and that that you are going to do something special and that you can make it, and that's my why. That's definitely my why.
Well, I really appreciate you opening up, and it just I think you're such an inspiration now to so many people here that you can work through this type of stuff, because what you've gone through, you've been through hell and back.
Oh man, people have no idea.
No idea.
Yeah.
And how much stronger are you now?
I'm grateful for all the things I've been through because I think it's made me tremendously stronger, not just physically, but more so mentally and emotionally. And I feel like that's why I've been able to become the player I am today, because it's not the work ethic, because basketball wise, physically, I'm always in the gym. I've been in the gym since I was young, and that's the one thing I've loved. I've always loved being in the gym. I've always loved working on my game. But it's the mental part. It's the mental part that I really grew up on, being able to, like AK taught me when I first got here, next play mentality, and not just on the court, but off the court too, where things happen in your life and everything is not always going to go good, and that happens for everyone in life, everything's not always going to go good. And you have to have that next play mentality. You have to wake up that next day and understand that I got to keep pushing forward, because the past is the past. And the future, you don't know what it holds, you know what I'm saying? And you just got to continue living the present. And that's what Miles Powell definitely taught me more so than he always taught me. He said, never get too high and never get too low. Stay even. Just live in the present. He said, just enjoy the moment. And he's been telling me that since I've met him, and that's what I focus on. And so I would definitely say mentally and emotionally, I definitely became insanely stronger,
I appreciate you, Jelly, and thanks for opening up on that. And you are stronger because of it. Hey, you're on the dance floor.
Yes, sir.
You're on the big dance floor. Tell us right now what the message to your teammates is going to be here ahead of this matchup with Houston Friday night. It's in Pittsburgh, a chance here to make a statement to the world.
Well, we was talking about it even in the Conference USA tournament. We say it all the time, leave everything out on the floor. Everything. Play as hard as you possibly can. Don't worry about the missed shots. Don't worry about the make shots. Don't worry about if you mess up and you turn the ball over. If someone goes by you, it's not about that. It's about playing as hard as you possibly can. Because me personally, I know Houston, and that's what they do. And that's what Kevin Sampson, he's a great coach. Credits to him and his Houston program. But they play hard. They play hard, and they play hard every single possession. And if they don't, like that's the only thing they really get in trouble for. They don't get in trouble for really making mistakes. They get in trouble for not playing hard. And that's, if there's one thing they're going to do, they're going to play hard. So what I tell them is play as hard as you possibly can, as hard as you can, and leave everything else up to chance. You know what I'm saying? If it's destiny, it's destiny,
We'll see if that destiny can come true on Friday night. When UAB meets Houston, it's a 5-12 game in the South. It's in Pittsburgh. It's at 9:20 Eastern Time, 8:20 Central on TNT. Jordan Walker, best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you.